Hi there, lovely people. Welcome back to English with Catherine. Welcome to all the new subscribers and also the loyal subscribers as well. Today's video is going to be a little bit more about the culture of Britain. I'm going to tell you about Britain in the spring, so what it looks like, what it smells like. Then I'm going to tell you what you can read, so some books to get you in the spring mood. And then I'm going to tell you what we do in the springtime, so what British people love doing. And lastly, what I personally like doing. So you're still going to be learning English. In Britain, spring officially starts on the 21st of March and goes on until really June. Spring is a very important season to us Brits. I'm sure if you live or if you come from a very seasonal country where there's a big difference between each season, you can relate to this. Because literally from the 21st of March, roughly, onwards, the air starts warming up slowly, the flowers start blooming, everything starts coming back to life after the winter slumber. I always find it much easier to be productive and inspired because it feels like a wave that's building slowly up to the crescendo, and I guess the crescendo is summer. So you have this kind of happy energy and positive energy that's building, and it's really easy to just get on the wave and go with it. That's probably why it's my favourite season, because I'm my most productive and I'm most inspired in this season. I never realised that until I did this video, because I was thinking, why do I like it so much? It's the season for renewal, for growth and new beginnings. Nature kind of inspires humans in this season. What happens is the flowers bloom one by one. Throughout spring, it's almost like a series, and each episode is a new flower. So first we have the catkins, which are the earliest signs of spring, really. The snowdrops first, and then the crocuses following on soon after. Then the daffodils come, the cherry blossom comes out, and the magnolia trees. And then we have tulips and bluebells. Bluebells are my favourite. As I live in the countryside, I can really notice these flowers coming out one by one. By the way, we say come out when we talk about flowers blooming. So the daffodils coming out, the tulips coming out. Somehow in the spring, the air just starts smelling again. In the winter, there's like no smell. Everything is so dormant and still. But in the spring, there's just more activity and fragrance in the air from everything growing. The other thing is the dawn chorus, which are the little birds that start singing really, really early. Spring starts to arrive. You really do hear the birds singing first thing in the morning at the crack of dawn, which is a great expression meaning really, really early. So let's talk about what to read. You could, of course, read the classics like Pride and Prejudice or Emma by Jane Austen. But today I have some specific recommendations based on what I've recently started reading. First up, we have something for more beginner level. So this is a collection. There are 3 books in here. And these books are technically for children. However, I don't believe that children's books are just for children, okay? We all have an inner child, and I'm telling you now, these books will awaken your imagination. They are so perfect for that. They literally turn on your inner child. So the author is Enid Blyton, and I have to say she was my favourite author as a child. Particularly for me, The Enchanted Wood was a book that shaped my childhood, my imagination, the way that I thought. It conjures, which is a lovely word. To conjure means to create. It conjures a lot of imagery in my mind. And I have to say, The Enchanted Wood by Enid Blyton has made me who I am today. What a crazy thing to say! Anyway, these books are perfect for springtime. There's a lot of description of English countryside, forests, little creatures living in the woods, the way that the leaves whisper to each other. You will not regret reading these. And if you want to, treat yourself to the trilogy of these books by Enid Blyton, because they're all wonderful. If you're a fan of Pride and Prejudice, then you will absolutely love this book. The Other Bennet Sister by Janice Hadlow. The Other Bennet Sister is, at its heart, a life-affirming tale of a young woman finding her place in the world. Witty and uplifting, it will make you feel and cheer for Mary as you never have before. I have to say, this book is perfect for spring. The descriptions are beautiful, the storytelling is incredible. I guarantee you will be absolutely gripped. Just take this book, go to a willow tree, lie underneath it in the sun, and read it. The last book that I have to recommend to you is this one, Far from the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy. Now, I have to be honest, I haven't read this book yet, but everyone has been telling me to read it. All the people that I trust and love have told me to read this book. People have told me that it's a perfect book for spring. It says that the background to this compelling story is the majesty of the Wessex countryside in all its moods. And it claims to be very typically English. So you'll learn a lot about England in this book. It's very pastoral, which means there's a lot pastoral, I think it's pastoral, which means very green, a lot of countryside. So it's a story about love and nature. Two of my favourite things. If you start reading it and you read it before me, put your opinions in the comments below. I would love to know. So those were the books to get you in the spring mood and to also help you improve your English. Let's move on to the next part of the video. So what do we do in Britain? I hear you asking. Throughout spring, there starts to be some really amazing events in Britain that everyone looks forward to and has in their diary to kind of punctuate different parts of spring. I personally always see spring starting on Mother's Day, and Mother's Day usually has quite mild weather by that point. Mothering Sunday in the UK is on the 30th of March. And this Mother's Day, I took my mum out for a cream tea, which she absolutely loved, so I always make a fuss of her and treat her to something on that day. Then of course we have Easter in the UK, which I must say is all about chocolate, really. We just eat chocolate eggs and chocolate rabbits and we exchange them. That's quite important actually. Sometimes we send cards because cards are so important in the UK. We always send a card if we can. But usually all the family gathers and they have a Sunday roast, like roast lamb, and it's a really happy time. I love it. For all you cricket lovers, it's the start of the cricket season, which is kind of a big deal in the UK. I don't personally love cricket, although it's quite relaxing to watch, I guess, if you have a picnic and you watch it. Also, we have Shakespeare Day on the 23rd of April. I bet you didn't know that, or maybe you did. So it's a whole day to celebrate Shakespeare and all his works. Maybe even go on a trip to where he lived, which is a place called Stratford-upon-Avon. Absolutely beautiful place, seriously. Visit it if you can, if you come to the UK. I'm now going to tell you about what I personally like doing in the spring, and maybe you can do a few of these activities yourself to get in the spring mood. Number one, there is a cake in the UK called a lemon drizzle cake. It is amazing. I'm going to put a recipe in the description box below because I have discovered the best recipe ever, so easy, it's the only recipe you'll ever need for this cake. This cake is really zesty and fresh and it just gets you in the springtime mood. Something about lemons really cheers me up as well because of the colour, so I think it's all related to the yellowness and the freshness. Number two, now I know strawberry season officially starts in the summer, but they start coming into the shops in the spring. So I start having a lot of strawberries in my life. You know when you get a punnet of strawberries and you can smell them and they just have the most amazing fragrance? That is what it's all about. Number three, I drink floral teas. So I buy myself some really nice herbal teas that are reminiscent of the season. So the one I have at the moment is Strawberry and Cucumber by Twinings, and I just love trying new ones like lavender tea, and of course I still drink English tea with milk, but I love introducing a few springtime teas as well. Number four, I start going for walks in the evenings. This is a real novelty in the UK. Because of daylight saving hours, the evenings get longer and you can do more, right? In the winter, the day kind of finishes at about 3 o'clock, usually. It starts getting dark at 3. Can you believe it? But in the spring, of course, you've got the evening. I'm going to tell you what time sunset is today. Sunset today is 8:20. That is so late! Number five, I start wearing gingham prints, which is kind of what I have here. This is gingham. And floral prints, so pastel colours and just the colours of spring. I love to dress in them. Number six, I paint my nails in pastel colours. I'll put a picture on the screen. Number seven, I treat myself to a new spring cup. Now I know that sounds a bit strange because I'll end up with so many cups, which I do. I have so many cups. We can also call it a mug. Sometimes I call it a mug or a cup. This is the cup of this year. It is so cute. It has this little rabbit called Miffy on it, which I just love. It really captured my imagination. So now I can have floral teas in this beautiful mug. Number eight, I treat myself to a couple of new dresses. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have quite a few dresses. I have a bit of an obsession. It's a hobby. Number 9, I start watching springtime series and springtime films, and I start reading springtime books just to really get the mood going and feel really happy. I'll put some links in the description box to films and series that I like watching every year. And number 10, I like to buy myself flowers like yellow. I love the colour yellow, as I just said. Yellow tulips or daffodils, just something really fresh and happy to have in a vase. Just really cheers me up. Okay everyone, that was the video. I hope it put you in the springtime mood. And always just comment down below what you thought. I just love to read all of the comments. I enjoy it so much. Wishing you a beautiful springtime weekend, and I'll see you next Friday for another video.